Good morning. I'm Ann Pruitt, Executive Director at Tennessee Alliance for Legal Services, and I have with me Darkenya Waller, TAL's Board Chair and Chair of Equal Justice University. Welcome to our 44th annual EJU. Our theme is Transforming Legal Services Together, a Recipe for Recovery. And we can think of no better way to kick things off than by celebrating our Tennessee Supreme Court for their leadership transforming the judicial system through innovation and removing barriers to keep our court system open safely and to ensure access to justice.
So we are here in front of the Tennessee Supreme Court getting ready to go in to meet with Justice Bivens to thank him for his tremendous leadership throughout the pandemic and also to surprise him with a special recognition. Ready to head inside?
Let's do it.
All right.
In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Chief Justice of the Tennessee Supreme Court hereby declares a state of emergency for the judicial branch of Tennessee government. Judges are charged with the responsibility of ensuring that core constitutional functions and rights are protected. Additionally, court clerks are charged with ensuring that court functions continue.
This Honorable Supreme Court of Tennessee.
Honorable Court of Criminal Appeals.
The Honorable Court of Appeals of Tennessee.
The Honorable Court of Criminal Appeals of Tennessee.
This Honorable Court of Appeals is now
in session.
Courts in Tennessee have made great efforts throughout this entire pandemic to make sure our courts remain open and available to the citizens of the state.
Welcome to the first live stream session by the Tennessee Supreme Court of Oral Arguments.
It makes it much more accessible to the public, to the media, and anyone who has an interest in the case that wishes to see how our justice system is continuing to operate during these difficult times.
I'm very proud of our trial courts and those that work in that system across our state.
This is the first time we've tried the public streaming, and we think it is working well. We had to get a lot of IT assistance to make it work, so we're glad to do that.
They have been innovative, flexible.
I was muted.
That we are open, we are accessible, and we want our citizens to have confidence in our system.
All judges and court clerks are urged to limit in-person courtroom contact as much as possible by utilizing available technologies, including alternative means of filing, teleconferencing, email, and video conferencing.
This oral argument, which is being live streamed for viewing by the public at large.
Today is historic because it is the first time an appellate proceeding in the state of Tennessee will be live streamed on YouTube.
It's taken many of us out of our comfort zone, but yet you have successfully completed all of those. And for that, I offer my heartfelt congratulations.
Knock, knock.
Hi there.
Hey, Justice. We're good.
Thank you
to
for
see
letting
you.
us swing by.
Well, we wanted to stop by because today on the opening of the EJU 2021, we wanted to recognize you and the Supreme Court for the tremendous work that you all have done throughout the pandemic, keeping our courts open. It is no small task, and we recognize that, to make our courts accessible for all. The saying is that the wheels of justice turn slowly, but during a pandemic, you really don't have that luxury. You all had to pivot on a dime to be able to ensure that the services were open to the community. And so we had judges who were thinking outside of the box, having court outside in parking lots, removing pews from courtrooms in order to be able to social distance, plexiglass being established so that attorneys could conduct court and people could feel safe as they came before the court. And you, along with the justices, made that happen for us, giving us leadership. And while I understand that it took the creativity of each of those justices, the creativity of each of those judges, it was important that from the top, the leadership said, this is the direction we're going. Technology was implemented, Zoom was implemented, and we were able to continue to do that work. And it's so important because justice needed it. There were custody orders that had to go out, orders of protection of domestic violence victims who couldn't wait. You and your leadership with the court helped to make that happen. And the organizations that we represent recognize that and wanted to let you know that we do.
Justice Bivens, These two pals will never forget the way you honored the Access to Justice community by being sworn in as chief at our conference EJU in 2016. So we think it is extraordinarily fitting that we now get to honor you at EJU in 2021 as you have finished your term as chief. So in recognition for your extraordinary leadership in keeping our courts open, we would like to present you with a personalized COVID can opener.
All right.
And you will see, just like you, it has all the tools needed to keep everything open.
It definitely does. I love that. Thank you very much.
Thank
You
you.
both are very kind in what you said. It's been truly an interesting endeavor for sure. And you're right, Darkene. We didn't know there was no playbook here. We certainly hope nobody has to use that playbook again.
Absolutely.
But I am just so proud of everyone involved in the process. And you folks did just a tremendous job, because this pandemic hit those that can't afford attorneys even harder than anybody else. It made it much more difficult with just generalized issues, the broadband issues, everything else. And you folks just did a tremendous job in continuing what you always do, and that is to make sure that these folks, our citizens, have truly access to justice. And as a result of that, I think we all were a great team during this effort. And while it wasn't perfect, we did the best we could, and we were able to keep the courts open during that period of time. And thank you so much I thank both of you for honoring me. It was my honor to be sworn in at EJU at that point in time. It is such a great thing that you all do, each of your jobs, and what everyone is associated with EJU does. I'm sorry we can't be in person again, but we will soon at another time. But it's a great time to go forward with it. And again, a show of the technology that's happened to be able to pull this off. Thanks for coming by and surprising me with this. And we look forward to seeing you on Zoom next week.